turnover, superintendent turnover. I've been doing this show for 30 years. So I've interviewed all the superintendents for the past 30 years.
Okay.
And basically each time I interview one of those superintendents when they first get into position, I say, what's your thoughts about the high turnover in the past? They usually last about 3 years and they out, 3 years and they out. Dr. Atkins actually went a little longer than any of the ones that I can recall. That shows you how much I've been interviewing and seeing the turnover. And I think that there's something good about consistency and having a superintendent around for a certain period of time. I'm on record as saying that. What's your thoughts about this turnover of these superintendents and how its impact on the stability of the district?
Well, I agree with you. Consistency is really important, no matter what you do in life. When you have the consistency, things work better. You know, you can get the work of the district done. You know, people pull together and they do what they have to do. People really do not like changes continuously. You know, because then it makes them, you know, kind of waver. It's like, what are we doing today? I thought we were doing this. No, we need to make sure that whatever we do, and even moving forward, we need to make sure that we are consistent in what we're doing. He has put us in a great position. Our chiefs, they all are very qualified, you know, to do their jobs. And so they will continue to do the work, regardless if he's there or not. And I think that's a good thing as well.
The move forward process that you speak of, it seems that they're amongst the school board members in terms of how to move forward, whether you, the school board representatives, will interview the candidates and hire the candidate, or you use an outside firm to do all of the heavy lifting, and so on and so forth. How do you feel about the process?
I will tell you, well, this is, of course, is my first time ever going through this process. In my other life, I've interviewed people, hired, fired, worried about their paychecks, so I get all of that. As the board, that is our responsibility. We will interview all the candidates. We will be the ones who will be hiring the interim as well as the permanent. It's not going to be a search team. It's not going to be anybody. It will be a vote. So when that decision comes in, whoever that is, like right now we're going through the process of what does that look like to us? You know, how do we want them, you know, we're going to have them send in their resumes, collect everything, get them in a binder, then we all receive them at the same time. We look them over, we use a rubric to decide where they place, and then we will all interview individually as well as together.
Do you have any interest, or do you think it's important to have somebody totally from outside of the district as the new chairperson, or do you have any interest in a local person rising to that rank?
For the interim?
No, well, superintendent. At the end of the day, the superintendent. Well, I know we got the interim piece there that we got to go back and forth on. So let's go both.
Okay. I really don't have a preference, because to me, it's once we collect the names, and I don't even have any names that I would even put out there, you know, so I will be listening, you know, to who people bring, you know, forth, and as well as for those who are sent to us. So when I get those, then I'm going to sit with open eyes and I will look at each and every one of them, just like I do for our advisory committees. I read all of those applicants, I call them, and I speak to them. I don't just pick one.
From what I've been reading, it appears to me that the interim is not going to be the person who will be the permanent. Is that a fact?
Okay, so the board came to consensus that the interim, which will be the superintendent, because it really is not an interim, but it is for us, so it's like a placeholder. That person that will come and do that 6 months, and then we'll extend it like on a month-to-month base, you know, perhaps up to 9 months before we could even get a permanent superintendent. The board decided that they do not want that person, that placeholder, to be in the running for the permanent one. So
it's just a hired gun, kind of just coming in, and that's what they do.
Keeping the district running and being there, because by law we have to have a superintendent.
Yeah, I don't even like that concept. I would like somebody, if they get in there and they do an outstanding job, and they're doing an outstanding job. Just keep it moving. But that's just me.
Well, but nothing really prohibits
Okay.
anybody from applying, because we can't tell you as an individual that you cannot.
Does the superintendent have to have a doctorate degree?
No.
Okay. I like to throw a name in the hat on television. I like,
Okay.
if he's interested. Carl Burnside, I'm nominating you. One of the outstanding high schools here. Dunbar High School, Microsoft certified, world-renowned high school, well-respected. Principal, has immaculate credentials. African-American diversity, which we need diversity thinking here too. I'm just throwing that name out. I don't expect you to tell me what you think about him, but what you think about the whole idea of somebody local, somebody who's in the district, and diverse. Too much?
No, not really, because it's the individual person. So diversity is always good. I believe in diversity.
Okay.
In whatever we do in life, period.
We've never had a minority. We had female, ethnic minority superintendent in the Lee, like a black superintendent in the Lee County School District, and the district has been here like over 100 years.
Correct.
We are behind in time.
We are. I agree with you there.
I mean, me and you on the same page on
Definitely
that.
agree with
now,
you.
I'm not saying that should be one of the criteria. I'm used to just asking questions,
Yes.
but I'm comfortable with you. I'm just saying that pool of applicants, somebody's got to be out there saying, we need a nice cross section of diversity and everything in terms of education.
Well, and I also think that when it comes to the permanent, there's an urban superintendent, which is up north, and they're, all ethnics group. And I believe that some of them, because I had already heard that this is out. It's national that we're going to be looking for one, because this is a huge district. So we're one of 9, the largest districts in Florida. And so for someone who is coming from maybe the north, who is in a larger district or is perhaps making their next move to the next size. But I know that I have heard that there is a superintendent of urban superintendents.
And there's one in Broward County who's leaving his position now in Broward County, African American. He's impressive as well. Hopefully he'll apply. Let me stop doing that, but let's move on for a minute. As a chairperson, to the layman, we see you as having enormous powers. Are we overestimating the power of a chairperson? Are you just a person that has one vote?
Yes, you definitely are overestimating. I am, as a chairperson, we're there to guide, but we are one person, There are 7 of us, we all have a vote. So we cannot do anything without each other. I don't have more power than the next person or the next person. The vice chair is the vice chair, she runs the meetings. We are the people who run the meetings. So, and look at the agendas and kind of work with that. That is it.